why do you always get to go to the games?
Yeah, I don't know why you guys let me do this. I'm having a great time. If you guys want to tag it, actually, hang on. I went to 4 straight losses. I earned this.
That's right. You actually did. You're right. This was a change of pace for you. Now, how was it, man? That seemed like it was an awesome time.
Yes, despite the referee's best efforts, that was one of the more fun regular season games you're going to see. Second game, I thought, against Houston this year, that felt like it had a playoff atmosphere. And, as much as the fouls made it stop and go and crush some of the momentum, that stretch where they were trading threes in clutch time, I mean, it was just ridiculous.
That was crazy.
As David Adelman went on to, David Adelman would go on to say in his presser, the NBA is in such a good place right now. The skill sets on these dudes is just outrageous, he said. From Jokic and Şengün, ISOing at the nail as skilled centers, to Kevin Durant, who is and has been a legend in this league. Even David Adelman was a bit in awe at what was on display tonight. So a real treat to be here.
Was he starstruck as well?
Starstruck. If you didn't know, Ime Udoka said that the referees were starstruck tonight. Very distracted Zach Zarba, 30 years of experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like Zach Zarba's been doing this, like once you've officiated a LeBron James game, it's probably all, but whatever. I digress. Ime Udoka, kind of a bar, kind of a cool sounding line, but I'm sure he's got a nice hefty fine coming his way. David Adelman was in a different mood than Ime Udoka after snapping the 4-game win streak at home and getting another win over Houston, which is always a big one. Late game, he said they actually did try to foul up 3 in that situation when Şengün popped out for the 3. Bruce was supposed to foul. They were switching, I think, 1 through 4. But Şengün kind of deked like he was going to the rim, and Bruce was ready for that, and then he just popped out. So quite literally, they didn't have enough time to get the foul off. It worked out, but Adelman talked about, kind of the various layers that go into that. He said if we had fouled them, I think we can block them out on the free throw line if there's a miss, but obviously, without Jokic and Valanciunas in there, that complicated things as well. Worked out for Denver. He really appreciated the spacing towards the end of the game. He thought they figured it out, the flat spacing. They got really good looks when they opened up the court for their best 2 guys. Their best 2 guys certainly looked really good tonight, but it can't always be them. Adelman said at one point when I asked him about Spencer Jones and hitting those big threes, and he said, look, for us to succeed as a team, then everyone's got to be a part of it. It can't be Jokic shooting a fadeaway all the time or Murray going 1-on-4 if there's nothing else there. If you end up open in the corner, you have to shoot it. I asked Spencer Jones later in the locker room, I said, Spencer, I was looking at your G League numbers, your college numbers. Can I call you a shooter when I'm writing, when I'm podcast? You seem like one to me. I tried to set him up for a really cool line. He's just a bit too humble for it. He said, I think so. I think he mentioned that he had some records in college, but he said ultimately it's up to me. I'm going to call him a shooter right now, fellas. He's shooting over 40%.
A second. Humbly, he said, look, man, I got a lot of 3-point shooting records, but I don't know.
It was Stanford.
I don't know if you call me a shooter, but
I'm saying like
weak history.
It actually was humble. He stumbled his way through it. He could have dropped a bar, but he's just too well coached, I suppose. Too coachable of a player. Finally, I asked David Adelman. I explained Jokmas to him, and then I realized I hadn't quite figured out my question, so I just straight up begged him for a quote. I said, is there any way at all you can give me a quote on Jokmas? And he said, I feel like every day is that, which works just fine for me, guys. That's a great quote.
What a great quote. By the way, every question in a scrum is really just, will you give me a quote on this? That's really what you have to ask it a different way, but that's really what most people are asking.
So I just said it, and it turns out that was an option the whole time. It works very nicely. A nice quote there from David Adelman.
We might need to Bruce make that Brown into a drop, Kale. Can you turn that into a drop?
Yeah, every day is Jokmas.
No, I mean like you could play it all the time.
We spoke with Bruce Brown in the locker room about the injuries. Another game against Houston where they lose a starter. Bruce had a really great line. He said, that's why they brought all of us in this summer, right? This exact reason. Like they just, you need bodies. You need guys who can go, guys who can step up. Obviously, the team wasn't deep enough in years past when injuries happened. So he said, look, they've just got to navigate this. Bruce also went on to explain that last play and why the foul did not happen. Jamal Murray sat down at his presser with a long sigh. I asked him just how exhausting it is to play Houston at any point in time. And he said, that was a long-ass game, bro, but always a fun game. Always a fun game when we play them. We know what it is. We know what to expect. It's going to be physical. They're going to fight on the glass. It's going to be exhausting, but we know what it is. He was asked about the free throw shooting and how he missed one, and he dropped his head in his hands for a while before admitting, yeah, I was frustrated with that one. It came up later in the presser when someone pointed out to him that he's just shy of 50, 40, 90, like percentage points on the free throw line. And we all realized together that maybe that one miss didn't help. So Murray was playfully upset about that one. On Spencer Jones, he said, we all know what he can do. He brings that same kind of intensity in practice all the time. And Katie asked him, when he knew Spencer Jones would be a player. Jamal thought about it. He said, maybe a week or two in. He said, once I met him, you can just tell. He's got strength, attentiveness. He's aggressive. He's just a great do-it-all kind of guy. He said, you can just tell sometimes. And they knew that Spencer was going to be good. He was asked about Ime Udoka's quote, and he handled it very diplomatically. He said, it's a physical game. It's tough for the refs to call both sides dead even. After a while, he said, I don't really think that was an issue tonight. Maybe easier to say when you're on the right side of it, but
probably. So
it goes here. Lastly, asked about...
was fouled on that little jump hook from Sengun. You remember that? He made it. Yeah. The ref missed it, though. Yeah. You get it, come on, man.
Lastly, when asked about that efficiency, if there's anything going into that at all, Murray just uses classic line. He said, no, I'm just playing my game. So for Murray, the process on the floor is no different, but as we all know, his process this summer was very different, and it's got him off to a tremendous start. 35 points here in this one to, complement Jokic's 39, 15, and 10. Little research for you guys on Jokmas. That's by far his best stat line on the holiday. It's by far his best stat line on Jokmas. Yes, there's actually a lot of modest ones in there. But the Nuggets are now 4-1 on December 15th since Jokic became the full-time starter, and they are officially out of this losing streak at home.
Let's go. Vogt, must have been a great time out there, man. Sounds like a great one. How many was Jokmas a big deal in the crowd? Like, was there Jokmas-y decor and garb?
Well, our guy, the boy's dad, was fully decked out, like a Santa Claus hat, a custom sweatshirt.
Did he come as Saint Yoke?
Yeah. And, the Nuggets cheerleaders wore their, Santa Claus outfits tonight as well. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I'm going to say it
did. For sure
I'm going to say it did.
So that's awesome. Good stuff, buddy. Look forward to seeing what you write.
Appreciate you, fellas.